beautiful.
Turn my fucking mic on. You know what I'm saying?
Snare up, dog.
Yeah. Oh, station identification. What's going on, everybody? It's Big Al's Grill ASMR. I'm here with the one, the only, the Puma Poppy. It's Michael Turner.
How we living?
How we living?
Dude, what a setup, dude.
Well, Mike, you asked for linguiça today, which I love.
I didn't even know it was called. First of all, you're schooling me. I just said, give me that Portuguese sausage.
Portuguese.
Portuguese.
In Cincinnati, did they have any Portuguese people living there?
No. And if they did, we ran them out of town.
And if they did, Pete Rose would say, get them out.
Get them out. Pete might have been actually, he would have welcomed them. He liked the everyman.
Dude.
So one of his best friends is Tony Perez. He might be Portuguese. Probably not. Dominican makes more sense.
What'd you do this weekend, man? Anything fun?
No. Oh, yeah. So I got, it's Friday at midnight. I got Oasis tickets.
No way.
To Wembley.
Walk me through the process.
Literally, there's 7 of us, and 5 of us fucked up, and 2 of us were the queue was, the number I got when I got in the queue was 132,000 something, right? And you just get on Ticketmaster, you try to get in the queue. I'd never done it because I'm not trying to get Taylor Swift tickets or whatever like that, but this is as close as we come as men.
This is our T Swift.
There's a certain level of person that has been waiting for this a long time. You specifically, but also I'm old enough to remember when the album came out in 94, 95 and all that. I didn't remember Definitely Maybe, but I was What's the Story, Morning Glory guy. And then you go back and get Definitely Maybe. But so there's 7 of us that are hardcore, which is so weird. I've always thought this is weird because being an Oasis fan, there's really not, it's kind of like a thing that's under the hood. You got
a little bit under the, yeah, it's under the hood.
You gotta dig into a person's, they won't tell you straight up, I think Oasis is one of the greatest bands of all time. You gotta kind of have some follow-up questions because they'll be like, I listen to rock. Yeah. I listen to 90s rock. Oh, yeah, okay. So Nirvana, Foo Fighters?
No, I like guys with a little bit more shorter hair.
Right.
It's from America? Yeah,
no.
Just England.
Just good rock, dude.
So Blur. No.
They knock you get up. And it's all right, well, you said everything you need to say.
Yeah.
So I've had friends, my brother and I have, John more the last 10, 15 years has been diving back into Oasis, and he kind of got me reinvigorated on them.
Yeah.
And then a good friend of mine that I became friends with in Phoenix started working with him, and he we were hanging out a couple times, and he revealed it after the 4th hang. He's like, dude, I really like Oasis. And I was like, dude, I like Oasis.
It's a fun thing to like, dude.
I always call certain musical tastes. I'm a big hip hop guy, and there's a certain level of hip hop that is a litmus test to me. If you like a certain level, I always think Little Brother is a group from North Carolina that was huge in the early 2000s, mid 2000s. If you like them, I know a lot more about you as a person and what your style or your taste is in hip hop, and I trust you more. Inherently, just based on that. Oasis is like that.
Oh, yeah.
If you like Oasis and you're happy to say it, you're proud, and you don't think it's ironic to say it, because, you know how it is. People be like, oh, they got 1 hit. Well, they only they have 2 hits?
Yeah.
It's well, you like Oasis? What's their other songs? It's bud, sit the fuck down.
Yeah.
They got a B-sides album that would have been one of the number 1 albums of all time. They just put it together.
You know what I'm proud of is that the Oasis fandom doesn't really verge into the Grateful Dead, Fish jam band sphere. Whereas I feel sometimes Grateful Dead people can be kind of annoying.
Oh, sure.
Because they can just be like, yeah, that song's great, but you got to listen to it when they played Cleveland in 85.
Oh, yeah.
And you're
the levels of when, you like that song, but which song or which rendition of that song do you like?
Exactly. Where I'm chill the fuck out. That's annoying, dude.
Because all we got is Nebworth and Glastonbury or something. We have a couple of concerts.
We have Main Road, but I'm not over here yeah, the Main Road version is definitely better than Nebworth. I'm that's where I feel people nitpick, but with Oasis, it almost seems like everybody that loves that band is kind of all in agreement of this is more of a movement and a feeling of fuck you, I'm just kind of a party guy and I like to enjoy myself.
Yes, and it's gonna be fun, and there's gonna be it like so. I got them in England. The tickets are for Wembley Stadium, which I think will be a dope experience to see that.
Oh, that's gonna be once in a lifetime.
So yeah, but either way, so there's 7 of us that wanted to do it. We did a coordinated attack. We all tried to get in the queue, and then I literally thought we were done because I got like 130K. My other homie got 120K, and one of my buddies in the group chat was like, "Yo, I'm on 100, number 153," and I'm like, "Dog, we're getting 4 at least." And then his brother was like 15,000, so he waited we waited another hour or two.
What was your did you have anything else going on the computers? Did you have like Pornhub on another screen?
I tried to minimize, but I did do laptop and mobile, which is so funny. And I'm sitting there and my girl had just gotten home. Or no, she was already home chilling, and she knew I was trying to do this. And she's like, "What night are you trying to go? What blah, 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 all this stuff." And I'm like being annoyed. I'm like,
yeah.
If you don't shut up.
I'm like, I'm on the Wi-Fi. Get off the Wi-Fi.
But I am answering these questions, not realizing she's trying to do it as well.
Oh, wow.
She's the one that got in the queue for me. So that's love.
That's fucking love, dude.
Love you, baby. But meanwhile, we didn't end up buying through that. But
meanwhile, she can't come.
She cannot come. She's not one of the 7. I think she's gonna. I think as long as we plan it properly, she's gonna come to England.
That'll be great.
I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I'm gonna try to coordinate a little comedy tour. But that was like a huge moment this weekend for sure. I honestly thought it would just not happen. I was mentally like ready for it to not happen. And if you love a band, that's that's dope as fuck. If you really love music, the live rendition of that artist is sometimes the dopest memory you'll ever have of that artist.
Absolutely.
I got to see Petty before he died, and I just hold on to that. And like Bob Seger, I've gotten to see. I've seen Kendrick Lamar 9th row for the Damn show. I saw Childish Gambino and Joshua Tree on fucking Molly, and what else was I on? Molly, mushrooms, and a lot of booze. Great. Those are the moments you remember. So you want to just see it.
Yeah, you're kind of at those live shows. You're bringing in somebody's spirit more than you would maybe if you are just like in the car or whatever. But yeah, I went and saw Always, this like indie rock band.
Yeah, you're telling me that.
Bro,
At the Madonna Inn.
The Madonna Inn, brother.
That's like I like the whole full sentence too. I saw Always, some rock band that I fucking love, and the Madonna Inn.
Yeah,
that's like what?
It was great, bro. I mean, I looked like everybody thought I was an undercover cop, pretty much.
Were you so you were the oldest in this situation?
No, I was not the oldest, but I was definitely the most undercover cop looking guy.
You don't look like the fan base.
No,
dude. Saying?
Yeah, I, believe it or not, I don't really look like a guy who likes bands with names like Mannequin Pussy.
Yeah. You don't look like a dude that understands.
I look like Morgan Wallen's fucking business manager.
And look, I've seen Morgan Wallen twice now, and it's a good time.
And don't believe what he said. Don't believe what people say.
Yeah, that's a good time, dude. If you like drinking beer, talking shit, and like judging how drunk other people get, it's great.
Yeah, but it was so good. It was a good time. You know what I do at concerts? My go-to move is like, if I look like an undercover cop, and I see teens in front of me vaping in a good spot, I'll just look at them. I'll go. I do one of these. They run away, and I'm like, let's move on. Let's move on.
That's it.
That's my go-to move. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Come here. You want to put these on?
That's beautiful, dude. I'm kind of scared.
Pop up.
Come on now. Linguiça. Portuguese. Dude, honestly, I'm pretty cultured now, dude.
I feel like
I went to, the only reason I know about this is I went to Hawaii for a week, like a few weeks ago. I was there. Shout out to Maui. You guys remember me? Maui Mikey. You guys kicked me out of Monkey Pod.
And I'll never forgive you for that.
But also, I'll come back.
I'll be back.
Come back. But I was in Hawaii, and like breakfast options are Loco Moco.
Which is...
Have you been to Hawaii?
I've never been, no.
You might never live. Guy like you.
Guy like me might just start. A guy like me on an island like
you
that.
Start an Oasis cover band. Fucking, you be chill. Be beautiful, dude. But Hawaii is amazing, and there's a lot of different. The best thing about Hawaii is you're still in America, but you feel like you've gone to a different country.
Yeah, you've ascended.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. These kind of. What does this remind you of?
Well, I would say that I'm uncomfortable touching them.
Hey, does this look right to you?
Come on now. Just a couple of dudes hanging out. Couple of sausages.
Here's the thumbnail.
That's amazing. Dude. Just a couple of nice hogs, dude.
Couple of hogs.
That's a girthy boy.
They're both girthy. I mean, we're getting
that's
them.
good measurements there. That's honestly like, I've always thought, I'm not a size queen, obviously, but that seems like maybe a girl would like that. Seems too long, but good girth on that.
It's not thick enough.
I'm trying to tell people regular dick is coming back. That's big. I think big dick's had its time.
What do you like? Hold on.
Regular dick.
It's coming back?
Yeah. I think women don't like to. You know how women are always talking about like they need like 8 inches or whatever. Like.
Well, here's what I think. I don't think big dick has been around long enough for people to be like, all right, I'm ready to get back to the.
Oh, you don't think big dick had a run yet?
No.
I don't know if you. How long you been watching porn?
Yeah, but it's not porn, dude. I don't know. Maybe I didn't get enough hormones in my milk.
That's fair. Or either way, regular dick. Yeah, you could be right. It's gone like it never left.
Right.
But I'm excited for regular dicks. Sometimes you're doing shorts on stage.
Of course, I've been rocking these jorts for every headlining show I've done this summer.
It's amazing.
It's
I
awesome.
just started doing it late summer. I finally got the fit together. I wanted to have confidence with it. Like I'll do this on stage, and
Yeah.
older people will sit in the crowd and they think that you're underdressed, which I get. But younger people, you're just like,
Well, those are your fans. I'm like,
yeah, exactly. My fan base isn't gonna be 50 plus.
my comedy and what I think is funny is directly tied to my friends and who I like to hang out with. So it's like, obviously you want to like reach as wide an audience as possible, but
Yeah.
sometimes it's just, hey, that's okay. Sometimes you don't get it.
Oh, dude, yeah. My set recently has been, there's like 50% of people that are like, I fucking hate this dude. But, buddy, that other 50% is really
They're going to ride for you.
have a good time.
They're riding for you.
But you know how it is. We just sometimes focus on the people that hated us. I don't even know if they hated me. They were not having a great time during my set.
Was that in Hawaii?
No, Hawaii was cool, actually. They fucked with me pretty heavy. They didn't like certain subjects, though, but you forget the turmoil of that area, right? Like,
Yeah, they just had the wildfires.
well, that, but also I just talk very, like, plain spoken about just race and shit like that. And the racial tension there between just people that are Hawaiian.
The natives.
Actually Hawaiian, and then
the so-called natives.
yeah, the guys like us that pulled up. And also, dude, being a white dude and going to Hawaii, and you do the research on how we just kind of completely took over the area. But once you get eyes on the state, you're like, how could we not? You know what I mean? I mean, do you blame us? That's one of my big takeaways traveling around America sometimes. You're like, you feel bad, obviously, with the knowledge we have of what we did to the Indians and all that shit, but like, how could we not take Yosemite? Once you get eyes on Yellowstone, you're like, what are we doing?
I'd say this, man. I think we should have probably stopped right past like Iowa.
You don't think we should have gotten to California?
I think
we should have gotten to California and been like, yo, you guys actually take
the rest. Take the rest.
You get actually take all the other shit.
I just think about it now where it's like if we left the Spanish all up and down the West Coast, and then we left the middle, kind of like where it was just for like Native American. Because like I think about it, dude, we do gigs in like Rapid City, South Dakota.
Sure, shows rip.
Like, well, places, you know what I mean? Where I'm just like, wouldn't it be nice if this was like a bastion of like Native culture? And like you went to these cities and you were like, oh wow, I'm in a different culture. It's like similar to if like you go to Europe and it's like things are close by, but they're like completely different languages, completely different like cultures and how people grew up.
We were gonna take it. I mean, honestly, the big mistake was we just didn't. I don't think we knew we had the most dangerous weapon was smallpox.
Yeah, it's a good point.
90% of them was actually killed by disease, but we had bullets too, just for good measure.
Just in case.
Some organized militias. But so like Hawaii, those shows were dope. But sometimes they were like a little tension about that shit. But they liked me for the most part. It was good people. Hawaii was a good time. You got to get out there. That was nice. I did shows in Waikiki, but then, which is more like the best version of San Diego you'll ever see is Waikiki. You're on an island, so the water's better than San Diego's water. But it's still like a huge tourist heavy foot traffic city.
Yeah.
Whereas I got to Maui, dude.
I got to Maui, dude.
Bro, once you get to Maui, you're fucked.
It's game over.
Yeah, you're just kicking it, dude.
Well, like, it must be hard to kind of like avoid touristy stuff.
Yeah, it's all touristy, right? But the energy, it just feels more of the pace in which you hope to seek in a vacation.
I'm gonna be real with you, Michael. I don't think I know how to cook this. This doesn't seem like a regular sausage, but I think we're just gonna kind of go for it.
Yeah, I think we'll be good.
Yeah, I think we'll be okay.
You can't fuck it up too bad. Make sure slits. You got a knife in there?
No. Can you put it? Oh no.
We're gonna guzzle these things down.
It's glizzy time.
Come on now.
Portuguese.
These are delicious. Did they go well with breakfast? Honestly, any time of day, really. But it's a nice, smoky, spicy sausage.
It's really good. I mean, I compare.
What's your familiarity with it?
So we, growing up, I'm from the South Shore, Massachusetts, and our big thing is South Shore bar pizza. Now, everybody has like, oh, this is XYZ, Chicago style, this is blah, blah, blah. South Shore bar pizza is like if you took Chicago deep dish, right? Flattened it down. So so the thinness of a regular New York slice, right? But just like stubbier pieces. They're cooked in like a same like tray, but with, I'd say about like this much on the side. So think about it.
Look this up.
Yeah, but they're really, really good. And they are like 8 inches. They're 8-inch pizzas.
Boston bar.
South Shore bar pizza. So there's an entire Instagram account dedicated to South Shore bar pizza. They do a new ranking every year. They do an entirely new battle.
Oh, and it's also a personal hitter. So you're going to be able to just crush that.
Yeah, exactly. You can crush.
Oh, this looks actually really good.
You have to usually get like, if you're doing it in an entire setting, like for your family, you need to get like a couple. Like we go out.
You're not gonna want to just if you go, maybe 2 people could split it if you just need a bite, but you probably need.
We go out as a family, and it is 6 pizzas for 4 people.
That looks really good actually.
It's unbelievable.
I'm a big pizza guy. Have you found any good LA pizza?
Yeah, I think Prime Pizza is my number one. I hate to say it.
It's funny. I don't think I've had it yet. I do. Apollonia's is right by me though.
Apollonia's.
It's good. It's on Wilshire.
I need a good local spot.
It's like the best slice you can get.
There's a slice place right down the street from me here. The owners are husband and wife, viciously fighting every time I go in.
Oh, that's good pizza.
That's what I think. I'm like, I always think.
Have you been in?
Have I been in? I love it.
Oh, it's good.
It's so good.
Yeah, right.
And there's part of me that thinks like, man, I want to get somebody in here and be like, help them out because it's brother. Like I'm in there and you just hear like the wife is going, why are you giving me such a fucking asshole? Dude. And I'm like, can I get a slice?
Anger makes the best food.
Dude, the other day I'm in there and I asked the lady, I'm like, actually, could you take one of the slices from the bottom rack? And she goes, yeah, that's fine. We all just have to live with the choices we make. And I was like, yeah, I think I'm good with pepperoni.
Dude,
I was like, and she just goes, okay, honey. I'm
cultures
like,
constantly at war are the best food. That's why, like, say what you will, America has good food. We've been at war since 1945, steady. We've been at war. But not maybe at the homeland, but you know what I'm saying? We're coming to your country. You don't got democracy?
We're about 2 years.
We're pulling up, dog. We're going to get you that democracy. We're going to shoehorn it in there.
We're shoehorn.
Fucking, but like England, shit food.
Shit food.
Because they were always an imperial. They were like always chilling. They were always they were in wars, but like they were kind of chilling as a fucking just running the world type shit for the last like few hundred years.
I don't think anybody could really touch them.
You know what I'm saying?
Why don't you come around here and check out this guisa?
Get eyes on this Portuguese cock. Oh yeah,
we're firing, huh?
In Cincy, we have something called Geta.
Sure.
And it's like our version of, it's our little weird sauces.
Do you think that's big enough?
I don't do the trick. Sit on that, see how your day goes.
I'm going to get my Theragun.
Come on now. I know the Portuguese were known for holding it like that, but there they are. I know nothing about Portuguese culture.
Really? I mean, they were crushing it pretty hard, too.
Well,
Christopher Columbus is Portuguese. I know,
but he got the money from Spain.
Yeah, he wasn't. everybody like.
First of all, the first stat about Portugal was wrong. Actually, I'm wrong.
Well, everybody learned how to navigate in Portugal.
Really?
They were the best navigators in the world. Were from Portugal.
Oh, okay. Well, they have the biggest coastline, right?
Yeah, I mean, think about it, dude. They kind of came away with Brazil.
Yeah, that's where they speak Portuguese, right?
Yeah. I mean, you got to think about it.
That's
Like,
a big W.
everyone there is pretty hot.
Portuguese, I only know one. They're pretty attractive, or maybe two. I don't even know. But
I can't even tell.
yeah, I don't know a lot about Portugal at all. That's so true. But I'm pretty well learned. Learned?
Yeah, learned's the word.
I know a good amount about things, but there's some blind spots, dude. Portugal's a blind spot.
Oh wait, this is already fully cooked.
Oh hell yeah! So we're just reheating.
We're getting a good sear.
Well, no, sausage I think is typically
fully cooked.
yeah. They're gonna give you sausage like.
Here's the thing
You
with
know what? I don't know about sausage.
here's the thing with this cooking show. There's no preparation.
Yeah.
There's almost no expectation that it's going to be great or you're going to learn how to do anything.
Have a good time.
But we're going to have fun.
It's Portuguese sausage.
And it's also a sunset. And it's also
sunset, yeah.
friendship.
Yeah, it's great, dude.
That's what we're saying.
That's what we're talking about. Come on.
Patriot Act. Patriot Act.
That's what I screwed.
Here's what we'll do. I'm gonna keep these flowing. I think I'm gonna then toast the buns.
Oh, you doing buns? I love it.
Of course I got buns. I got bocadillas.
Did you Google like what good bun goes with this?
Nah, I just saw.
Nah.
Of course not.
Get eyes.
I just told you we do absolutely no research here.
Amazing.
This just looked like it would handle the sausage pretty well.
Nice, and you finger fucks the bun. I like that.
Yep.
And they just fit on it at all?
Nah, he's good.
Oh yeah, that's a good bun. You know, bread makes the whole thing work. You know that? You a big sandwich guy?
I am a sandwich guy. I think sandwiches, as to date, internet culture is kind of overrating sandwiches as of now.
Oh wow.
I think this is a hot take I've had, but I'm like, every Tom, Dick, and Harry could take a sandwich like this and just squeeze it and just go, oh, look at my food page.
Oh yeah. That's true.
I'm just saying, I don't know.
I like a good sandwich, so but also like I'm a Jersey Mike's guy too. Like, that's a good fucking sandwich.
Yeah.
You know.
You know,
But there's some good sandwiches in LA.
there's some, dude, the food in LA is absolutely nails.
Speaking of LA, if you're ever looking at this podcast and you're trying to figure out where he lives in LA, you're never gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
You know why? Because I know where you live and I don't know where we are.
Yeah. They call this a demilitarized zone.
This is a fucking crazy area. This is actually exactly where I should have assumed that this is happening. Nobody knows. I can tell you where it is, and you still don't know where we're at.
Well,
It's like this little pocket of LA where I'm like, I don't get what's happening over here, but there's a shit ton of apartments.
it's activity.
Yeah.
We're in Culver City. I like to call it the Paris of LA.
Is that what you claim? Okay.
It's kind of the Paris. I mean, I
Have you been to Paris?
no.
Why is it the Paris of LA?
It's just great minds walking around. We're always in the cafes,
Yeah.
just chopping up, discussing ideas, politics.
You ever seen Midnight in Paris?
Yeah, that's pretty much what happens here in
It's one of
Culver.
my favorite movies of all time.
We all go down to the Jack in the Box
Yeah.
on Venice Ave. Yeah, we should go to Versailles. It's this it's a Cuban restaurant with a great bar.
Okay.
We can get some cheap drinks.
I know exactly what
They have, like, it's like a chain.
By that a million.
Yeah.
Well, I know the one that you're talking about. I think that's by my. There's a good Del Taco down there.
Yes.
Yeah. I trust that Del Taco.
Venice Avenue.
Also, hot take. I'm a Del Taco boy over Taco Bell.
That's a good take.
Yeah.
You know what? I've honestly never had Taco Bell.
Have you had Del Taco?
No.
You seem like a healthy boy.
I'm a pretty healthy guy. The one time I was ready to make the dive into Taco Bell, it was 1 a.m. We pulled into the drive-thru. Some high school kid, but they leaned out the window and just goes, "Guys, we're all out of beans, meat, and cheese."
Oh my god.
I just went, "It's not your fault, man." I just drove away.
You hit him with the fucking Goodwill Hunting.
I
It's not your fault, man.
It's not your fault. Because that kid's just like, man, they're going to be so
Dude,
mad at me.
there's
I'm
some
like,
people
that
that are
is
very mad at me.
truly not your fault.
You're one of the only people that were kind to him that night.
Yeah.
It definitely could have been his fault, is what I would say. I wouldn't.
Well,
assume.
what do you mean?
I mean, I worked at Skyline Chili in Cincinnati when I was growing up, and there's ingredients. There's like a way to make the chili in the back, and I did way too much water, and I ruined the chili for several hours, and it ruined the night.
Did you blame? Did you take the blame?
I didn't. No, I didn't take blame. I was very defensive, but at the end of the day, it was 100% my fault. Couldn't have been anybody else's fault. It was blamed on me, and they were right. But I was a cat in the corner, and I was a young man and wasn't able to take responsibility at that time in my life. And, I'm sitting here now and admitting my fault, but I think those people bounced back from that night in that suburban neighborhood in Cincinnati. But
only time will tell.
You ever work in the restaurant industry?
Brother, I was a dishwasher, a barback, and I've been a busboy.
He never made it past that.
Never made it past.
It's actually pretty shameful. That's awesome.
Isn't that crazy?
That's an awesome perspective on it.
Dude.
Because I was just assuming you were just a waiter or bartender, but you were the bottom. Wow, yeah, actually, you've got a great perspective.
My restaurant industry experience is all just lateral moves.
Yeah, you didn't make it past far back.
They were like, let's see if he can. They went, all right, he's doing pretty good at cleaning dishes. Let's see if he can scoop ice.
Yeah, right. I did the dishwasher stuff, and then I was a busboy, and then I was a waiter, and then I did the bartending thing. I didn't like that.
Bartending's hard.
Yeah, I was like waiting, because I was at a TGI Fridays attached to the Diamondback Stadium in Arizona.
Oh yeah, shit.
In left field. Great gig. I didn't need to bartend. I was like, just let me serve and feed people booze and watch the game.
Like, I feel like I would have been good at serving, but they looked at me and they said,
"You back of house."
Yeah.
Get your bag of house.
Why don't you go in the back of the house?
Yeah.
We got a guy back there with extreme autism. I think he needs your help.
He's actually gonna be your boss.
Yeah, that's your boss.
He's gonna be your direct report, actually.
I need you to talk to Donnie, okay? And don't talk to him too loud, because he will get upset.
I like the restaurant industry is important.
I think it's very fun, honestly. Like, I've always enjoyed it.
I think people need to. First of all, I always am joking about running for office, but one of my main platforms would be that everybody would be required to work in a restaurant for at least 6 months.
Yes.
You have to. You have to do it. It's almost like in Israel, you have to be in the army. In America, you have to work in a restaurant for 6 months.
What kind of restaurant?
That's an interesting. It would have to be a table with a wait staff, not like a McDonald's, like not fast food, like a sit-down dining restaurant.
Okay. I would say this. How about in high school you have to work at fast food?
Yeah, in college.
And then in college you get moved up to waiting.
That's fair.
And you get moved up to like bartending.
Yeah, maybe it could be broader than that. Either way, I know that if you work in a restaurant, you learn a lot about just how you should talk to people, how you should deal with people. You can fuck around. First of all, you can learn Spanish. You know what I'm saying? Like, pretty good. Enough to avoid being knocked out. Look at this, dude.
Why don't you show the crowd?
This is beautiful. Portuguese. Look at that dog. It's a hog on him.
It's a hog and a half.
Nice charred dog on a fluffy white bun. You ain't gonna get that on Pornhub. Actually, I guess you are.
This is dinner right here.
I saved myself with this.
Good, I'm glad.
That's nice.
It's so big.
That's so big.
It's so big.
It's just funny just hogging down something that's shaped like a dick. Yeah. But I got nothing against the gays. Yeah. I don't know if this is a wrong thing to say.
Finish your point.
But like, I know I would never be gay just because the idea of sucking a dick is just disgusting to me. That shit is nasty. And I don't think that, I'm not judging people that do it because I know people that do nasty shit. I'm just saying, that shit is disgusting.
I think that's how you know you're straight. I think probably most women are like sick of it too. That's why they're like, oh, why would I do that?
Yeah. I mean, there's men that don't like eating coochie. I enjoy it.
Different strokes for different kielbases, different linguices.
First of all, when I was growing up, saying that you went down on a girl was some of the gayest shit you could have done. Dudes were judging you. It's like, what? You ate a girl?
Oh, did you grow up with The Sopranos?
Dude, I don't. When I remember watching that episode, thinking like, yeah, that checks out. I mean, it was like, I don't know why it was. I never questioned it. I just know that, like, it wasn't something you wouldn't pull up to school on Monday and be like, yo, I ate out Stephanie or something. Like, you would not brag about that. That you went down on some chick.
Yeah. I don't know. You went to public high school. Was like, if someone got like action, did that become well-known public knowledge immediately?
Because somebody was usually there. So that person told somebody. If the two people that got hooked up didn't tell anybody, by Monday or Tuesday, usually knew. And then we used to call it, did you have a term for like hooking up?
Nah, I mean, I kind of grew up in the age of like Instagram and like Twitter just became like a thing. So like,
Yeah.
new terms were being invented all the time.
So we didn't, I don't think this was even a term outside of our community or like high school, but we used to call it getting on. Did you get on her? Like, I got on some chick last weekend. Isn't that weird?
Like your Bronco busting at the county fair?
Physically got on somebody. Yeah. Like, yeah. Something like that, right? Like, did you get on her? Did you get on her though? Dude, it's so weird to think about it like in hindsight now, but like that was definitely a term that meant a lot. Like it wouldn't, because you weren't fucking back then. You weren't having sex with this person at this age. It was like, we're talking like 7th, 8th, 9th grade, maybe even. People started fucking maybe in high school. Like, you would just get on them. You'd maybe make out, grab a titty.
Maybe you get on them, they get on you.
Honestly, yeah.
Maybe it's a wheelbarrow situation.
Something like that. Who's holding who?
Maybe it's an alligator roll in your parents' basement.
Oh, that will happen in somebody's parents' basement. I can guarantee you that.
That's almost a guarantee. Look at it.
But yeah, we call it getting on. Sucking on somebody's titty was like a big thing. And now in hindsight, you're like, so that's all that happened? Also, the funniest thing thinking back on it now is like a grown-ass man. Like, let's say on Monday morning, you would hear the rumor like, blah, 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 hooked up with blah, blah, blah. And then in your mind, you're like clocking it like, yo, she's hooked up with like 4 dudes now. Got on 4 dudes, right? And the terminology back then, which was very normal, is like, yo, she's a slut. And you'd kind of, I don't know if you'd slut shame them to their face, but the word around the dudes was like, yo, oh, she's easy, she's a slut, blah, blah, blah. And you maybe like wouldn't hook up with her because she hooked up with 3 other dudes. I'm in my late 30s now. Dude, if that same chick was just a smoke show single and like in a situation in her late 30s and I was single as well, I'd be like, God, I don't give a fuck. You hooked up with 3 people in high school, I don't give a fuck. You probably blew 30 more dudes in your 20s.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about that now. But back then, like 3 dudes, hooking up with 3 dudes was like game changer.
It's also funny to think in high school where you were getting almost virtually no pussy that you had standards.
Yeah, 100%.
You're just like, yeah, me and my friends are going to actually drink a shit ton of Mountain Dew, go to 7-Eleven and get Doritos.
Right.
But like, I am not hooking up with her because she hooked up with 3 other guys.
It's so dumb.
You're like, and you're texting your buddies just like, do not invite her. She's too hot and too horny.
But did you get the 2-liter amount?
Yeah.
I'm bringing 2 later.
I have
beat this thing tonight.
I have NCAA football 14, dude. Get over here now.
I got the 2-later Chico. We're gonna beat off to her triangular titty.
Yeah, exactly. I don't care how into you she is, dude. Do not invite her.
That is so stupid.
This is probably one of the better things I've cooked on this podcast.
This is very good.
It's unbelievable.
You don't need any condiments or anything.
Nor do I really have any.
But I'm saying it doesn't need anything.
Wow, I think it's perfect. I was thinking
Much flavor.
the Portuguese people really crush it.
The more I'm learning, the more I trust.
Oh.
Interesting culture. Their language is like Spanish, if like Spanish fucked German.
Yep. It's so interesting.
It's like back in the throat a little bit. You know what I mean?
It's so interesting how like, you can go in Europe and you just have like so many different dialects like so close to each other.
Mm-hmm.
That like will. Also, I think in Europe they do protesting so much better than us.
Well, so many people do protesting better than us. But how so?
I just think about like France, for example. We always call France just a bunch of like pussies, weaklings, yet the president will come on and be like, hey, look, we're actually lowering the retirement age by just half a month. Immediate firebombs in the streets.
Really?
Like, oh yeah, I mean the people, they're crazy there. That's the best thing. Their lives are so good that like the minute, I think that's the thing, their lives are so good that the minute anything changes to might negate that, they lose it, dude. Like violence in the streets.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, we're actually, you're only allowed, like, it's like little shit like that, like retirement age or like pensions, and they just go, no, I'm gonna burn my fucking library down.
And did they get any, like, return, though? Like,
oh, yeah.
Did they get, like, change?
Yeah, they always capitulate.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Yeah, we just give up.
We give up.
We just got too much shit going on. And they do a good job of just kind of continually giving us more shit where it's like,
well, I think we peaked.
Can't be that worried.
We peaked in the 60s.
I don't know if we peaked, but like...
We crushed it so hard on such an important issue with nonviolence.
Yeah.
And, like, civil rights that it's like, I feel as though the mantle is too high. Not that things can't change, but I almost feel as though every sort of right movement or counter-protest movement is almost pales in comparison by a lot compared to, like, how great and awesome the civil rights movement of the 60s was.
Oh, wow. It made LBJ look like a good dude.
That's what I'm saying.
That's pretty hard to do. I was a bad man. Nixon wasn't happy with it.
Nixon was pissed.
But also, they just shot everybody that was really at the head of... They killed the head of the snake on every move.
Eventually, yes.
Yeah.
But I think the initial push and the nonviolence of, like, we're just going to go sit in these cafes, these milkshake bars. I'm going to get a soda malt, and I don't care. They're going to have to fucking cut my fingers off to remove me from this countertop.
And now they can't. We can't protest. So back then you could because you could afford to do it and just not work for 2 months or whatever. Now it's like, I got debt.
Yeah, I know.
I got student debt.
Got student debt. That's why
I started fucking, like, that's why I always laugh. Like, people like, this is the closest we've been to a revolution. It's like, dude, this is the farthest we'll ever be from a revolution. You telling me somebody pulled up, you would just join the revolution? Dude, I got shit to do. I got bills to pay. I owe Arizona State like $40,000, I think, still.
Yeah. I'll be right back at the encampment after I finish driving DoorDash.
You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, like, when the revolution was in the 1700s, like, somebody was just churning butter, and they're like, yo, heard the king's bitch made, dog. You trying to go fucking do some shit? And it was like, yeah, man.
Those people had, like, real hatred, man. I read this entire book about the Russian Revolution. And what happened was the literacy rate started improving in, like, the Russian countryside. Because you got to remember, like, they ended serfdom. Serfs, like, essentially indentured slaves.
Yeah.
Like, the same time that we ended slavery here in the United States.
Oh, really?
Pretty, like, the exact same time. Like, this is, like, after railroads have been invented. And these are, like, you got to remember, these are people that have been indentured servants for, like, 1,000 years.
Yeah, like generations.
So there's so much animosity and, like, pent-up generational trauma that, like, by the time that the people, like, the princes and, like, the nobles that were, like, trying to edge them into democracy came in, they were like, nah, dude, we just want blood.
Yeah.
We want it all gone. You know what I've been thinking about? I really want to buy a soccer jersey. I just think soccer jerseys are the biggest bro deception clothing item of all time. Let me phrase this correctly. Soccer jerseys can be the biggest misfire in your wardrobe. Like, the margin for error is so big on wearing a soccer jersey out in public. Like, you have to straight up nail the fit.
Yeah.
It has to be, like, the perfect size.
Yeah.
The perfect look, not too many, like, sponsors. Otherwise, you just end up looking like you're wearing, like, a too tight golf polo.
Yeah.
And you just look crazy.
You got to be in pretty good shape. I mean, yeah, I'm a Puma guy. They got a lot of jerseys. I think about it sometimes. I don't do it.
You can't.
Because I'm too, like, I don't know, I'm already too committed to other sports where I'm like, I can't get into soccer. And then there's going to be a conversation at some point with somebody that cares about the jersey.
Someone's just going to go, oh, you love AC Fiorentina?
Yeah.
What do you think of the season this year? They just signed Buca de Beppo, and you're like,
I've been drinking since 9 a.m.
You're like,
I don't give a fuck.
yeah, you're like, pal, I don't know, is he on the LA Galaxy?
Right.
You ever go to an MLS game?
No. I know in Cincinnati they're big now though because they have the FC Cincinnati is like good.
Yeah, they're fun because it's like they're cheap.
Yeah.
And parking's easy. I'm all about ease at this point.
Have you gone to the Galaxy game?
No, we used to go to the Colorado Rapids all the time.
Is that in Denver or where?
It was like right outside of Denver, so we would like drive there. Cheap beers, like more often than not. It's an hour and a half game.
Yeah,
You're done.
that is nice. I like that. And the clock keeps moving.
Clock keeps moving. You just get it and you're done. And you're like, I also if we lose, I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
So, but we win. Hey, I've been a Rapids fan my whole life.
I know. Yeah. I like shit like that. I like just drinking in public. I know that's one of my favorite things, and soccer is a nice thing. That's why I like when the World Cup happens. Like, we used to get up at 6 a.m. to watch the games in Phoenix when I was living there. And, yeah, it was a good time.
It's a blast, isn't it?
Just getting hammered before noon, like, that's fun to me. I like that.
That's stuff that I like.
Yeah.
My name's Michael Turner. That's stuff that I like.
I like getting hammered before noon. It's a challenge.
And I'm up for it.
That's what, like, football season's exciting.
Yeah. Oh, wait. You should tell people, are you doing your Cincy tour?
Yeah, so I'm doing
Bengals
the Road Warrior tour again. And I'll do, also, shout out to that Portuguese sausage, dude. Linguiça.
Shout out to Linguiça. I mean, you got to be bringing this to every tailgate now.
That was really good.
Thank you, man.
It's a nice, like, also, that's like a nice, like, side option. Like, you could have sliced that, had it as side bites at a bigger tailgate situation.
Yes.
Right? Like, you got
toothpick?
Yeah, right. You might have some wings, you got some burgers lining up, but I already got the sauces going. Hit that, get your little, wet your beak.
What the beak, dude?
Nice, dude. But yeah, I'm doing the Road Warrior tour again. I'm starting next week, or whenever this drops. I'll be in it. And then I'm going to like mostly Cincinnati games because I'm a Bengals fan. What I do is I go do stand-up shows before the Bengals games, and then I'll go to the tailgate and do video content and fuck with the tailgate and shit and just do man on the street stuff, and it's super fun. And then this year I'm switching it up a little bit just to broaden like the scope because like the Bengals only play X amount of teams. So I'm hitting Denver. They're playing the Raiders in October. That'll be fun. Anytime you can get in front of Raiders fans, it's going to be
that's going to be interesting.
some of the best.
Some of the worst breath.
Them. I actually think they're like my favorite fan base, but also like I don't give a shit about them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I can see why like the Chiefs hate them and the Broncos hate them and shit, but like those are just good guys. Also, I grew up like I came up in Phoenix doing comedy. You know, I can hang with some Mexicans if I need to. The Chicanos, but and then I'm doing like Buffalo. I'm going to Buffalo Bills Niners game. I'm going to Philadelphia. I've never been to, so I'm going to Philly Washington game Thursday Night Football. And so I'm just trying to like switch it up. I'm gonna try to hit Phoenix for the Bears are in town, so I'm trying to line that show up now too. So yeah, I'm just doing a tour this year. It'll be stand-up comedy. It'll be fun as hell. I'll have some dudes like pop on some shows too, like the Bengals are playing the Eagles. So I got Chris O'Connor and Tommy Pope coming through.
Nice.
To do the show with me. In Dallas, I got Sidney Castillo. In Buffalo, I got Josh Potter.
It's going to be sick.
It'll be fun. So I'm going to do that. Bunch of, like, hit the YouTube up. There's always fun tailgate videos, and then be posting some stand-up from it too.
I mean, dude, there's nobody that got it better than us where we can just pretty much like take our job and then work vacations around it.
Yeah, I did. I always had the idea in my head, and then last year was the first time I like did it, and quite frankly, like I took an L like financially, and you could argue like
just spiritually.
Yeah, like again because the Bengals sucked, and then also like you know how it is when tickets aren't moving like you want, you kind of like
you get so in your own
head. We could be
head.
really hard on ourselves, but luckily I have somebody in my life. My girlfriend is so like dope. Her perspective is dope because she's not one of us. She's not even industry or anything. She's just a person that loves me. And she was like, I remember like halfway through, she was like, you know, you did this thing. Like you created this thing. You're doing it. People are coming. Like, cause I'm tripping on like 30 people. Only 30 people showed up. It's like, yeah, at least 0 didn't show up. Like also every person of the 30 came to see you specifically. Like that's a W. Right?
That is a W.
Yeah, like you do have to like you got to switch the perspective, and it's nice to have her in my life helps me with that. But then also I need to be the person that changes my perspective on it too. But like
but you need those people, man. They bring you up.
yes,
and they make sure that you know that you are on the right path and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy I mean, dude, all we do is just listen to our own shit day in, day out, and like just wait for instant validation.
Yes.
Where it's just,
and it's never the reality.
And it's always short term in the micro, whereas the long run, we need somebody there to say, like, just be like, yo, you're doing really well. Like,
and like I'll pull back up to LA, and like I know we've talked, but like there's a bunch of people that will be like, yo, that's dope that you did that. And then I'm like, I guess it is dope that I did.
It is sick.
Yeah, like, but when you're in it, you're just like, got that. But this year, I'm like way more confident with. It's not even like confidence. I think I'm like just more comfortable with whatever the results are.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know I'm gonna have fun and have a good mentality towards it. So this year, I'm excited about that. And we're gonna kick it off in Cincinnati. Joe Burrow's healthy. You opened this by asking what I did this weekend. Oasis tickets, and I drafted 2 fantasy football.
Oh, let's go.
Championship teams.
That's what I'm talking about. And then you finish it off a little linguiça.
Come on.
Come on. What do they say in
Portugal?
In Portuguese?
I have no idea. Dude, I have,
as they say in old Sao Paulo.
I've heard it's great over there. Wasn't that where people were moving during the pandemic? They were like
Brazil, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, was it Brazil? I thought it was actually to Portugal.
Really?
I think it was literally to Portugal. You could like move for cheap.
Dude, I've been trying to get my buddies to go over there and do a boys trip where they do the World Surf Championship in Nazaré, Portugal. You know the 100-foot wave?
I didn't know that was there.
Dude,
that makes sense.
On HBO for everyone at home. Big wreck if you're a sports doc guy. The 100-foot wave. This guy found the perfect wave in Nazaré, Portugal, and like you can go and watch the entire like event essentially. Now that it's like a World Surf event. On like this lighthouse off this cliff, and you just like watch these guys. They literally have to get towed in by jet skis and then take these things. It's crazy. But anyway, this has been Big Al's Grill ASMR. We hope you've had a great time. I'll be in Salt Lake City October 10th. I'll be in Las Vegas October 9th. Please come to those shows. And I'll also be at Boston Garden November 2nd. Opening up with Bill Burr and all the boys.
Oh, come on.
So, come on
first
through.
of all, he didn't need to plug that one. I think those tickets are moving.
They're going to be fine, but I just wanted to let everybody know.
That's what we call a nice little flex.
Gosh.
That's dope.
That's pretty sick,
That's
right?
sick, dude. Kill that. Love you, brother.
Love you too, man.
Shout out to Portugal.
Shout out to the Portuguese.
Linguiça.
Linguiça. Oh, man.